I believe that LeBron James is the best basketball player to ever play the game. Overall, I'm talking about playing basketball. I'm not talking about, oh, he's not the greatest winner. Okay? He's not the greatest shooter, but he's the all-time leading scorer. Well, he's played the longest. Yeah, but his level of consistency isn't Vince Carter's 20 years. Isn't Vince Carter into 40? Isn't Dirk into 40? It isn't those guys. It is an elite status from year 1 to year 21. He's been an all-star for 20 straight years. He's been an NBA all-pro for 20 straight years, I believe, or maybe 19. An NBA all-pro for those amount of years. Every fucking year that he's played, with the exception of his rookie season, he was an all-star. That his durability, I mean, it just all of that goes into being great. Is Tom Brady the greatest thrower we've ever seen? No, he's not. But he has the most championships, his longevity, all of that goes into being great. LeBron James's longevity goes into being great. And this is kind of an explanation that I've pretty much figured out that this is the way. This is how you know that the Michael Jordan thing is an era thing. And then everyone who from there on who wasn't in that era believes that Jordan, who hasn't seen him play, believes that Jordan is better because they hate LeBron. That is the actual fucking thing. Because there's guys that are 20 years old that'll swear that, oh no, Jordan's the best player. How? You never even saw him play. Like, you can go back and watch footage, and the only thing you're watching is footage of Game 6 against Utah, Game 5 against Cleveland, or Game 4 against the Cavs when he hits that shot over Elo. I think that was Game 4. Like, that's all you're watching. You're not watching him actually play the fucking game. And I'm not saying that Jordan was great, but Jordan was the first icon the NBA ever had. Just as Pelé was the first icon soccer ever had. Babe Ruth was the first icon baseball ever had. You know, for a long time, Gordie Howe was the first icon the NHL ever had. And people would struggle to name Gretzky the greatest of all time until it got to a point where it's like, okay, that's it. Like, his nickname is the Great One. He's the greatest. So I think when you stuck on that icon, and luckily there was no one alive to see Babe Ruth play, that no one who's alive now ever saw Babe Ruth play. Because if they did, they would be stuck on that. They would be stuck on Babe Ruth being the greatest player of all time, which is...
Yes, it's the same. Yes, I'm sorry to cut you off. It's the same argument with fucking Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. Is that it's the first. So when you see something else and that's great in a different way, you don't want to adapt to it.
Right. And LeBron was the first. I mean, Jordan was the first icon. Like, he's the most iconic basketball player ever. And he will always be the most iconic basketball player. In 50 years from now, he will still be the most iconic basketball player of all time. Shoes, he was the first one who was on TV on a nightly basis, the dunk contest, this, that. We've seen other guys dunk from the free throw line. Scottie did it right after. And he did it actually behind the line. Like, we saw a white dude, Brent Barry, fucking do it and win a dunk contest. Michael Jordan, he was 6-0 in the finals. John Havlicek was 8-0 in the finals. And when he retired, he was third all-time in points. When Jordan retired, what was he in points? Second or third? Like, basically, it's the same thing. It's just different eras, and one dude was white, and one dude you didn't watch play. Pelé was an icon. He's still, people will still believe he's the greatest player of all time, but we know it's Messi. Messi can go back. That's the thing. When LeBron can go back into that era and destroy everyone. Messi can go back to that era and destroy everyone. You take Ohtani, go and send him back 100 years, he will destroy everyone. Barry Bonds will destroy everyone. Those guys were probably throwing 70 miles an hour. You take Patrick Mahomes and throw his ass in the 70s, he's probably fucking destroying everyone as well. Dan Marino did it. And so, I mean, it's just, that's the thing about LeBron, is that people will never get over the Jordan thing because he was the first icon. Yes, he was 6-0 in the finals. Yes, he won supposedly Defensive Player of the Year. Now, you know, they think it's a LeBron back thing, that they actually went through the stats and he really didn't win it. If we take a look at, I believe it's 2013, LeBron had ridiculous defensive stats, first team all defense, and yet I think it was Marc Gasol who won Defensive Player of the Year, and he didn't even make the all defensive NBA first team, and yet he was Defensive Player of the Year. But and the other thing was when you see all these interviews with all these referees, there was a certain thing about Michael Jordan. And people talk about LeBron's flopping. Go and watch LeBron before 2015 or 2016. Before James Harden started flopping and all that shit, LeBron didn't. You can go back and watch it. The series against the Celtics, all the series against the Celtics and the Pistons, when he was with Cleveland and when he was in Miami, you never saw any of the flopping bullshit. You can go back and watch Jordan. There's videos of Rodman flopping on the Bulls. Jordan's crying to refs. Like that shit's always been a thing. It's just that now you have social media. So you have and there's way more cameras on the court. So now you see LeBron bitching and crying for every fucking thing.